Okay, so here we're going to start the lesson for 6.1, the Civil War, and my apologies, it actually should be 5.1, not 6.1. Your objective for today is that you'll be able to explain the sequence of major events during the Civil War by completing a timeline. I would like you to go ahead and annotate along with me as we go. Okay, so first off, some three pretty important people that you need to be aware of. These are the presidents during the Civil War and Reconstruction. So first we have Abraham Lincoln, who was our president. He was the 16th president, and he was president from 1861 until he was assassinated in 1865. And he was the president during the Civil War, which makes Johnson the 17th president. And he was primarily the president during Reconstruction from 1865 to 1869, and he was Reconstruction. And then we have Grant, and Grant was actually our 18th president. And he was president from 1869 until 1877. And again, he was a president during Reconstruction. So Reconstruction was after the Civil War. So Lincoln becomes president, and a couple of things that you should be aware of about Lincoln becoming president. The first is the 1858 U.S. Senate election was between Stephen Douglas and Abraham Lincoln. And these debates between these two individuals became very famous, and they were known as the LincolnDouglas Debates. And as a matter of fact, if anyone debates today, you would be familiar with the LincolnDouglas debate style. And this is where Lincoln gave his famous speech, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Ooh, made a little mistake there. And this was Abraham Lincoln who said that quote. So when Lincoln ended up winning the presidency, first off, he was viewed as a moderate, meaning he was in the middle. But the South was fearful of him abolishing slavery. And so that led us to secession. Secession is to withdraw formally. South Carolina was the first to succeed. However, once Lincoln won the presidency, there were another 7 states that succeeded after. And this led us to the Battle of Fort Sumter. The Battle of Fort Sumter was the start of the Civil War, so it's an extremely important battle. The Confederates did win. But this is the fort right here, Fort Sumter, was originally controlled by the Union. So Fort Sumter had requested supplies. And when Lincoln sent troops and supplies, they were fired upon. Okay. So that brought us to the actual Civil War. So the Civil War began on April 12th of 1861 and ended on April 9th of 1865. So it lasted about 4 years. Something to know about the Civil War, something different, was that fighting was hand-to-hand combat. The Battle of Manassas was a major battle of the Civil War. It was known as the Battle of Bull Run. The Confederates did win, but why this is significant and why we talk about it is because since the Confederates won, it proved that it was going to be a long war. And so something that Lincoln tried to do during the war was to focus on blocking the southern ports, which was known as the Anaconda Plan by General Winfield Scott. And again, the idea was to block all seaports, meaning that the South could not get supplies. And you may have noticed this when you were reading some of the letters about soldiers, the difference between a northern soldier and a southern soldier. So the war itself, some of the major battles of the war, the first would be the Battle of Antietam. It was the single bloodiest battle, and it caused General Lee to go back to the South. So generally went back. 1863 was a turning point in the war, so this year was a turning year. The Battle of Vicksburg, gave the Union control of the Mississippi River. That was a big deal because then they could transport goods back and forth. The Battle of Gettysburg, the Union won, and it caused Lee's army to be weakened. And then finally in April of 1865, General Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse near Lynchburg, Virginia. Essentially, when they say surrender, he gave in or gave up, and the North had control. And just to give you a general idea of what states were for what, blue's Union, this color is going to be border state people from both sides, and then red is going to be Confederate. And remember, Union means the North, Confederate means the South. And that's it for today.